here we are inside of After Effects. What I have as far as the files, anytime you want to import a file, obviously we're going to go to File, Import. So go to File, Import Files. So what I'm going to do is I'm click on the first one, and then I'm going to scroll all the way down. I'm holding the Shift button. I'm click the last one. So that's allowed me to click all of these. Okay. Now down at the bottom, then there's the option to be able to import JPEG sequence. So I'm going to show you this one first because this one makes it easier to appreciate and kind of dive into time lapse. The other way right here, create composition, I've seen folks teach it that way first, and it can be a little frustrating. So we're going to click on import JPEG sequence. And when I do that, it'll create the composition for me. And I will see two things. I'll see my timeline down here at the bottom, and I'll see at the top, I'll bring it over a little so you can see a little bit better. You see Sunset TL, and that actually is the comp that we created, or the sequence. Let me make this a little bigger so we can see what we got. Okay. What happened is basically it took all of those 100 some odd pictures and it brought it into one full file. So if I were to click on Sunset right here, this is basically, again, this is just a picture, a group of pictures, and basically they've been added in order, frame by frame. But like I said, what if there's something that I've taken a bunch of pictures and I want to make it a little bit slower or faster? This portion I have right here, if I click on here, there's ability under layer, time, and basically it's called enable time remapping. Okay. When you go to layer, time, enable time remapping allows you to take the regular portion of time. You can slow it down or stretch it. It's up to you. I clicked on enable time remapping. Once I do that, you see down here at the bottom, you can see that the time remap is there. It's already given us a stopwatch that shows that the first keyframe is already set. We set the stopwatch once for a keyframe. And after we make that first keyframe, then from there, After Effects is going to pay attention to everything else that we're doing afterwards. So let's say, for example, I like how it's fading, but right when it gets to right around here, it's a little, it's moved to that dark point too early for me. So what I can do is I can create a keyframe here. Let's say, for example, right here, right when the sun, right before it begins to peak over the mountain. See that right there? On about 2 seconds, but basically I'm going right over there where it's about to peak over the mountain. Right around here, this is where I notice that the sun is gone. I click the button here, that locks that place in time where the sun is gone. And then what I can do is I can make the sun further away. Now that you're probably wondering, like, why did this start getting brighter? Because this blue point right here, I'm dragging it further along. So now all the rest of the frames before that sun losing its losing visibility, it's going to stretch it much longer over a period of time. Now I can take it to another level and say, for example, the process of the sunset here. So I can have it going up, down. You see how the sun is going down here? I can go back to the original frame right here. Remember, we could do copy and paste. So I'm going to select that first keyframe, which is when the sun is still up. I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, and then I'm going to move a little bit further down in this timeline, and I'm going to go to Edit, Paste, and it's going to actually paste that first frame. So now you'll see what happens is the sun is going to go down, and then it's going to come back up again. So what I've done is basically with the time remap is you freeze specific moments in time, and then the computer is going to go to that moment in time, whether it's forward or backwards. You have the ability to play around with a lot of this. But this is just kind of showing you what kind of things can be done using the time remapping and working with time lapse. Okay. I'm going to show you the second way. We clicked on the first one, and then we clicked on the last one here. So I clicked on all 115. What we did the first time is we clicked on import JPEG sequence. That's the first thing that we did. But in this time, what I'm going to do is create composition. You see what's happened here. It's brought all of these images in this way. Now, the difference here is now that I've done it individually, because see the import JPEG sequence, it just took all those pictures and just put it into one huge file that we can drop right on the timeline and just play around with. Now, this is when I want to get more in detail if I wanted to. So let's say, for example, you have time lapses that you're bringing in and you're just doing a collage of all these pictures in really quick succession. You can go to the still duration here, and then basically it's how long is each frame going to exist on the picture itself. And I'm gonna hit OK. Okay, and from there, once I've done that, see what it's done here? I'm gonna make this full screen just so you can see what we have here. What it's done is it's taken every single file that I have here, and it's made it 2 frames in duration. You can see frame 1, frame 2. So now that same time lapse that we had, when I play it back, see, it's a little bit slower. It's playing back just a little bit slower for me. So like I said, with that, after that project is finished, or after you've created the time lapse that you want to do, then you just go to File, and then from there, Export, and you add it to Media Encoder. And on the videos that I do, I like to go to H.264. That's like my favorite. And again, as before, you have the option for YouTube, Vimeo. I like to export mine as high quality. And then from there, after I do in high quality, then I can always make a version for Facebook or anything like that. And that's kind of the full mix on how it would work for creating the time lapse in After Effects.